Wait, what? This looks like from Hermitcraft. And what's Grian? Never mind, let's just hit the doorbell. Huh? Grian, no! 10 out of 10 acting, everybody. Would watch again. Anyway, apart from the fact that my acting is actually terrible, we're gonna go over what really happened in this video so you know when to skip, because there are some things you are not gonna want to miss. So, I have made a replica of the Hermitcraft GTeam base door. It gives you a note, and theirs is a witch, mine's a skeleton, shoots you in the face. And then, afterwards, is retracted. It does take a bit of a while because I made this for a witch, but I thought Grian would be funnier. Grian is a skeleton, looks like Grian. So in this video, I'm going to be first explaining how the design works, then I'm going to be giving a tutorial for anybody that actually wants to build this, but then at the end, I really hope you really don't want to miss this. I'm going to be battling Grian. We're going to have a PvP battle, and hopefully I'll win and claim some of his loot, because I heard it has an 100% drop rate, and I might even give you the command to spawn your very own Grian. So, without further ado, let's get into the first part of the video. So, before we get into the tutorial, the first thing that we want to see is the circuitry. Unlike Iskal, which you can see on screen, his circuitry is very big, while mine covers a 5-block high area, which I think is pretty impressive. Obviously, it can't really go into this door, it just meant to shoot you, but their design does that as well. So the first thing that happens is this. This is probably the hardest part of the entire thing, was actually putting the input. The reason is because this little sand thing has no other use other than being, so like you can't spam the button, or else, because, you don't know, if you spam the button it would break, but because of this little sand thing, spamming the button doesn't break. And that was the hardest part, getting a monostable input to work. Regardless, so the input goes in and activates this pulse extender, which goes this way into this pulse extender, and this way up this line into here. Into here goes first, it updates the double piston extender, and this pulse extender turns off this torch, turning off the powered rail, and turns on this powered rail, sending Grian there. Now, after the pulse extender turns off, oh yeah, also this thing right here gets the dropper note here from under the carpet, so go away. That's what that does. Now the final thing is when it turns off, this signal turns off. The double piston extender doesn't get updated again though. That doesn't really work. Maybe it would. No, I don't know what happened, but this is how it works when I built it. So first of all, this pulse extender turns off, sending Grian back over here, and then this redstone line, which only activates when this torch is on or when this thing is off. So after this all turns off, this torch turns on, sending a signal through here and into this machine once again, which just turns it on so the double piston extender retracts. It's a really cool design and not very difficult to build and not very resource demanding, although it may seem that way. So we're going to move on to the second part, the tutorial. For those of you that actually want to build this, I can't imagine for why, but here we are. It works for any mob. But be warned, if you do use a witch, I feel like I should say this as a disclaimer, they sometimes poison themselves when the door opens. So if you're going to use a witch, I suggest you put like a regen pot on top. Regardless, like a regen machine. Regardless, the things we're going to need to make this build are 8 comparators, 1 rail, 2 powered rails, 2 pieces of sand, 2 observers, 2 pistons, 2 sticky pistons. I try to cut back on sticky pistons because I know they're annoying to get. A redstone lamp, a redstone torch, or a dropper. This can be placed for a dropper. Dropper, 3 carpets. Well, the door is 5 wide for me, but I'm just going to be using 3 to demonstrate my point. 1 dropper, 1 slab, has to be a half slab, 1 minecart, 1 button, 13 redstone repeaters, 31 redstone dust, and I think exactly a stack of blocks, but that doesn't count the actual door and frame. So, before we start the tutorial, the area you're going to need is a 10 by 10 square. This is the ground level, so we're actually going to be placing blocks. That was a bad example. We're going to be placing blocks on top of it like that. And it has to be 5 blocks high. And the grass symbolizes ground level, so if you're on ground level, you want to dig 2 blocks down, and that's the area you'll need. You also need to have a little bit of space upwards. But that said, let's get into the tutorial, and once again, this is our door. So if I were doing the build, this will be the door shaft, okay? Right, so we're just gonna grab all our stuff that we actually need, my bad, and we're gonna hop straight into it. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is place your button that is already not needed anymore. Next, you want to place a block right here, and I'm actually going to use a distinct block. We're going to use pink wool because I don't want to show the iron door. We're going to place a block with redstone dust, a piston with sand on top. Right here, we're going to place a repeater set to 2 ticks, and right over here, a block and another block just like so with redstone dust going on top. Afterwards, we're going to want to have a redstone dust right here. My bad. We're going to want to grab right here, put 3 blocks, comparator actually going into this block, and redstone dust just like that, and another comparator like so. Afterwards, we're going to place a few blocks out, 2 redstone dust once again, and right over here, 1 2 3 4 ticks, 1 2 3 4 ticks, and redstone dust and 1 tick, and that goes into another block. So now we're gonna place 1 2 just like that, right here, and 2 more blocks out, going down 1 2 3 just like that. So we kind of have this weird little bridge, and this is actually a needed block. And afterwards, we want to grab our redstone lamp and plop it right here with redstone dust on top. I don't really know if that redstone dust is needed. Oh yeah, no, it is needed, my bad. So, now we're going to place observers just like so, and we can remove those, and our 2 sticky pistons. And that is actually the double piston extender setup all completed. Afterwards, we're going to want to place 2 blocks like this, and redstone right here, and a repeater right here, set to 4 ticks. I repeated the word 2. And now we have to put a block right here, and this is important. We put a half slab right there because we need that half slab, or else it will trigger this piston. Afterwards, redstone right here, and another block right above to cut it off so that it won't interfere. Now, repeater set to 4 ticks once more, a block right there, and a block right here. And now, we're going to have this little area of 3 by 2, and we're going to fill it with 2 comparators, 2 going this way, 4 comparators, 2 going this way, and 2 going that way. Do not toggle any of them. And now, 2 redstone dust on the blocks, and redstone right here. This is a little bit of circuitry. We're going to hop into the front for just a second. Place your dropper wherever you see fit, and we can now remove that. And after you filled it of whatever you want to put in, I'm gonna put kelp just for right now. We're gonna put it in there and then fill up the dropper with put on the dropper carpets. And that is our little entrance system. And now we're gonna move on to the actual minecart part of the system. Right over here, you're gonna want to put a redstone torch and a block right there, block right there, block right there, and block right there, and a block up like this. This looks kind of weird, but let me explain how it works. You want to grab your powered rail and your regular rail and place them in this fashion right here, and now you are done with both of those. How convenient. I believe, oh no, you're not done with computers. So now we can actually put 2 redstone dust right here and a repeater. Now this thing is on, and it should be all good to function, but you need to put 2 blocks on the side to keep the minecart from falling off. These could be any material you'd wish. That looks pretty cool. Now what we want over here is actually going to be a block right there with the repeater set to 4 ticks, so right click it 3 times, another block, and another repeater just like this, 4 ticks. Afterwards, you want to put your minecart on here. I recommend not doing this right now, but I'm just going to put it right here because I'm not going to put another mob in it right now. Maybe later, I don't know. Afterwards, you want to place a block and then a repeater set to 4 ticks, and this is going to get a little bit cramped, but bear with me. We're going to hop underneath this block right here. I don't know if there's anything on it, so no, there's rail on it. But the repeater goes into that block. You're going to find that block. This is the block with the repeater, so we can put that block right here. And that may be a little confusing, but what I just did was I hooked up the dropper system, so we can put another repeater here set to 4 ticks, and now we have that dropper system which will throw our kelp at anyone coming close. Now this is the final part of the circuitry. This is for the closing of the double piston extender, because right now you can see if we put a block and we actually hit our button, you'll notice that it gets retracted and the minecart makes way in. But we don't have anything to turn that back off. You can see once the pulse extender dims, the minecart actually goes back, but the block does not get retracted. That's what we're working on right now. Over here, you're going to want to put a redstone torch, and just like that, a block right here, another redstone dust, and piston with sand. That is going to be your final piston and your final block of sand. You are all good in that department. And over here, repeater, set the 2 ticks, and a block up, block down, just like that. And now we want to make a pulse extender. So, to a comparator facing in, a comparator facing out, just like so. And finally, you're going to want to put some redstone dust with a repeater set to no ticks. And if you're wondering why I made you go at this little bit, because I needed the space, it's more convenient if you have a little bit of moving room to put all these blocks in. Regardless, no ticks should be fine, and that is actually our completed circuit. If you notice, if we just, let me get my spawn egg from this chest. You might be thinking, what spawn egg? Of course, in survival, you won't have any spawn egg, but in my case, I am lucky enough to have one. But here we go. If I just place our mob into this container, Grian, yep, I have a spawn egg for that. And we can just remove all our inventory items because we just finished that circuit. We can hit the button, and you'll notice that pretending he can't see us, open the door, there he is, and he would shoot us, get sent back, and we'd be on our merry way. So that is actually the entire build. Now, just for the fun of it, we're gonna PvP this guy. Hopefully I'll win, because it'll be a bit depressing if I don't, and I guess we can get right into the battle. So, just for the laughs and me losing, I whipped up this arena in a few minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm actually really proud of how it looks. This doesn't look amazing, it's not supposed to look good, it was just some quick stuff, but it does look pretty nice. Floating sand and all, I like the rocks, I especially like the trees, the birch block is awesome. But regardless, we're gonna fight this guy. We have full chain armor, ignore the message that I fell out of the void, that was testing. And we're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna spawn this guy. The reason we have these little bumps is that he can actually shoot us off if we jump because of his punch flame bow. Yeah. But let's spawn him right here and begin the match. So I'm gonna hide behind this wall. You can't see me. Die. Ow. Nope. So the game mode is set to normal, so he shouldn't be able to kill us if I, yep. I totally didn't get hit off the edge the first time. At all. So let's see what he dropped. His head, that, his chest plate with mending, protection, and unbreaking. That is how Mafia works. I can't end without saying peace out. I just can't. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out. So tonight we losing this fight, or help. So tonight is no one on our side who's gonna help our souls tonight.